Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Tempe City Council Work Study Session Agenda. Item number 1 is call to order. Council meetings can be watched in real time via Cox Cable Channel 11 and at tempe.gov/tempe11. Members of the public may also attend the meeting virtually through Microsoft Teams. Guidelines for conduct at City Council meetings are on the table near the entrance for those in attendance during tonight's meeting. We're now going to play a video ensuring the proper protocol for the appropriate city conduct at council meetings.
The City of Tempe welcomes public comment at this time. Disruptive behavior will not be allowed. Continued disruptive behavior will lead to removal from the council chambers. We need to be able to hear everyone in the room. Behavior that disrupts, disturbs, or otherwise impedes the orderly conduct of any city council meeting is not helpful and is not permitted. This includes behavior both inside and outside of the council chambers. Should individuals inside the council chambers become disruptive so that city business is not able to be conducted, the mayor will first ask that the individuals allow city business to be completed. There will be time for public comment during the call to the audience portion of the meeting. If no cooperation, the mayor will issue a verbal warning and let them know that the continued disruptive behavior will lead to removal from the council chambers. If there is still no cooperation, the mayor will issue a second verbal warning and let them know that the continued disruptive behavior will lead to removal from the council chambers. If there is no cooperation after asking and 2 verbal warnings, then the mayor will ask security officers to remove only those individuals who are causing the disruption. Security personnel should not engage in any way, but only escort them from the council chambers. If individuals refuse to leave, security personnel shall warn them that they are trespassing and that the next step will be arrest by a Tempe police officer. Tempe officers may have to arrest if individuals refuse to leave. Charges for trespass and disorderly conduct may apply, as well as other charges. Should anyone be asked to be removed, the mayor will recess the meeting.
All right, thank you very much. Next up is item number 2, call to the audience. The City Council welcomes public comment at this time for the issue review session and committee of the whole items on this work study session agenda. There is a limit of 3 minutes per speaker. I don't have any cards in front of me right now. Madam Clerk, are there any cards?
We did not receive any for this meeting. Thank you.
Okay, sounds good. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to address the City Council this evening? If so, please get my attention. Okay, seeing none, I'll close that portion of the meeting and move on to item number 3, which is issue review session. Item 3A is council committee structure update, and I'm going to call upon our Chief of Staff, Tanya Chavez, for a presentation on item 3A.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. Excited to be here tonight to hopefully wrap up the discussion on our council committee structure. Oh, I've got to do this. Tonight's presentation relates to all of the council strategic priorities and performance measures. This afternoon, we're going to discuss a summary on our retreat, the proposed new structure, and then next steps. Let's see. So at the June 16th retreat, we had an engaging discussion specifically highlighting the benefits and limitations of our existing council committee structure. These are some of the comments that I heard from that meeting, that we want to continue to create and advance policies and initiatives that enhance the community, establish an environment for more effective two-way communications, continue consistent public communication, provide the mayor with a chance to participate, collaborate across areas beyond current committee assignments, and streamline process for greater efficiency and timeliness. To achieve those objectives, the formation of council subcommittees should be considered. Subcommittees can be established to develop policies and share information that aligns with the city's strategic priorities and enhances the quality of life for our community. The mayor may establish or be introduced on included on subcommittees. Each council member may initiate up to 2 subcommittees at a time. Council members can serve on a maximum of 3 subcommittees at a time. A minimum of 2 council members are required to propose the formation of a new subcommittee, and a council subcommittee must provide monthly status report at the work study session meetings. You were all provided with a packet that included kind of an overview of the policy, the draft rules of procedure in red line format so you can see what some of those changes were. This is really just a high-level presentation to kind of get an overview of the information that was in your packet. So the next steps would be to see if there is consensus on the new structure. If so, we would need to update the rules of procedures at the next regular council meeting, which is September 5th. And then also would need to work with our communications team to come up with an internal and external communication and marketing plan, which would include website and all that other type of information. Are there any questions?
Sounds good. Thank you so much, Councilor Hodge.
Good. Well, great presentation. I love it. Short, precise, and right to the point. I was one of the ones who had the most concerns about changing the structure from the committee that we had before. But the way you structured and way that laid it out, I am very much indeed okay with that and looking forward to the chance of actually working with, I love Councilmember Keaton, but actually getting a chance to work with other council members on other things too. So I really do like this structure. So I am going towards a yes to go forward.
Sounds good. Thank you so much. Anyone else, Council? Vice Mayor Garland?
Hi. So I agree. I like how this is set up. I like the ideas that you have. One of the things that I especially like is that the mayor has the opportunity to be able to stop the comments at 60 minutes. I think when we have had meetings where we have gone really, really long, although it's really important to make sure that every voice is heard that comes to the council, it makes it really difficult to make decisions at like 10, 11 o'clock at night. So I like that, but I like that in conjunction with the opportunity to be able to have people speak for a smaller amount of time so that we can get more opinions from other people that are coming in. So again, I think it's super important to make sure that these voices are heard, but I like the ability to be able to make those changes that we have in here. And the other one, that I like the idea of how we're looking at setting up the sequence of our agenda for our council meetings and being able to set times on that so that, again, we're not going until 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. And the one suggestion I mentioned to you earlier, it'd be nice to be able to, if we get this and we approve this, to put it in the back of the room so that when people come in, they can kind of see what we're trying to accomplish here. But I think this was wonderful. I think you guys have done a really good job in pulling all this together. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Councilmember Keating?
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, I think this is great. I'm very appreciative of staff's effort on this, and it was quite a discussion at retreat. So I'm glad that everyone's kind of come to a consensus on it. One thing I would ask for at least explanation of, or maybe that we could change, is limiting council members to 3 different working groups. I mean, I understand why we'd want to limit the number of open working groups that are allowed for staff, but I don't think that it really matters if an individual council member, is on, 10 different working groups, if that council member wants to and has the time. And I'm thinking of Councilmember Amberg here because during my first term, I joined every working group I could to kind of learn about the city and learn how it functioned. And I thought it really benefited me as kind of like a baptism by fire approach. So I don't know if there's like a specific reason we want to do that, if there's a concern, and if not, I wonder if my colleagues would entertain lifting that or at least increasing it. That's it. Thanks, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Hodge?
I do agree with Councilmember Keaton. I think that we should not be able to start too many of them without closing them. But I also do think that we can have more than one, that more than 2. Oh, is it 2 or 3? Two?
Up to a limit of, participating in up to a limit of 3. So
Yeah, I think that we should be able to do more than just 3, just in case, like he did, because there's a lot of things that you learn, and you do learn it on. You don't have to be the person ahead of it, but you do learn if you want to sit on a subcommittee with another person. So I think that we shouldn't limit it to just 3. I don't know what number would be, a right number to have, a correct number, but I don't think it should just be 3. I agree with Councilmember Keaton.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you. I'm okay with that as well. I mean, I agree. I think for me, it was more about people not opening up a ton of them without closing them, but if people want to serve on multiple ones, and as long as we're adhering to you can't open more than a certain amount, I'm okay with that as well. So, Vice Mayor Garland?
I was going to say, would it also be that to keep it at the 3 and just say that you can attend any other meetings that you want to attend, but do not have to be a member of that committee? Or is it so that we would sit on other committees?
Get to sit on it, I think, because you might want to put input. What if you don't? You could just sit there. I think it should be.
Councilmember Amberg?
I absolutely agree. My only question would be maybe for the city attorney, like if you end up with like 4 or 5 council members at a subcommittee meeting, are we then, violating the open meeting law for the entire council?
Mayor,
City Attorney?
Mayor, Councilmember Amber, that's a good point. Essentially, if you get to 4, you have a meeting of the entire council. You've met a quorum for the council. So 3 would be the maximum I would have on as a participating member of a committee. I don't think that would extend to sitting in the audience, but you would have to probably sit quietly if a fourth member were to attend. And
Sorry, yes, Councilor Keating?
I think there's some confusion to what I was suggesting. I wasn't suggesting we have more than 3 council members on a committee. I was suggesting a council member could be on more than 3 committees.
Right, yes.
Due to the open meeting law, we cannot have more than 3 on a committee.
Right. Yeah, that was my understanding as well. It was basically just saying, Tanya, we can open, each council member can open up how many committees?
2.
So, right, so each council member, has the ability to open up to 2 committees, and only you can open more once you've actually completed the work and closed one. Only up to 3 people can attend a committee, because otherwise, right, at that point, once you get to 4, you're getting to a quorum at a full public meeting of the body. But I know Councilmember Keating's point he was trying to make was, I don't think there should be a cap of how many committees that an individual council member should be able to serve on. As his point when he first started, or Councilmember Amber who just started, says, hey, if I'm on 6 committees, as long as I am abiding by the open meeting law and we're not breaking that rule of more than 2 per person, then why can't I serve on 6? And I would actually agree with that. I think that makes total sense.
Correct. Thank you.
Everybody else okay with that? Yes. Okay. Any other further comments, questions, or are we pretty much good with the structure? Councilmember Chen.
Thank you, Mayor. Tanya, I noticed that it says we would need to formally update the rules of procedure in September at a regular council meeting. Then when do we expect to roll it out after that?
We would be ready to go by the next work study session, which I believe is September 17th, 19th?
September 17th. Okay. Thank you.
so, Mayor, if I may,
Yes.
just for clarification, we would be prepared to bring it back for council action September 5th, in which case if the council voted to adopt the resolution, the rules would become effective immediately. So the next work study session is, I think, September 19th or 17th. But the rules would be effective immediately. So technically, like, for example, if the mayor wanted to start a committee, you could do it.
Sounds good.
So.
Okay. All right, any further comments or questions on item 3A? All right, hearing none. Tanya, thank you. Great work.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. That brings us to the next item is call to the audience for committee of the whole items. There aren't any items ready for city council direction or status update this evening, so I will close that item and move to item 5B. Council committees in progress, updates as needed. I'm assuming there are no other updates here on the previous committees, correct? Okay, just wanted to make sure. Yes, Councilor Hodge?
I do have an update. I don't know where this would fit in, but over the summer, I started a task force for special needs parents within the city, within the district. So I don't know, that's going to have to come back in now to a committee, and I have to open it up as a committee, but I wanted to let you guys know that I've been working on that all summer long, and they've already started meeting. They've already had 4 meetings, and it's very beneficial. So I will be bringing it back now as a committee when we do it in September, but I wanted you guys to let you guys know and that I'm working on that right now.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you. All right, that brings us to item number 6A, future issue review agenda items. The next item, so council members may request that an agenda item be added to a future issue review session, but in accordance with the open meeting law, there should be no discussion on the item other than to clarify the request. Would any council members like to add an agenda item to a future issue review session? All right, seeing none. Next up, item number 7, announcements from the mayor and/or city manager. I don't have any announcements this evening. Madam City Manager?
Thank you, Mayor. No announcements this evening.
Okay, sounds good. Well, then that brings us to item number 8, adjournment. The next scheduled work study session is going to be on September 17th, 2024. Just want to note, council, we need to go back upstairs and finish an executive session. And for the public who's watching right now, we will be back at 5:30 for the Housing Authority governing meeting. So we are going to adjourn now, and we will see you at 5:30. Thank you.